So good morning. My name is Rachel Waldstein. Welcome to Sun and Moon Studios YouTube channel, where we have live short practice every day at 10 o'clock. Today's practice I'm calling Undo Your Desk Job Part 2. If you were with us last Thursday morning, I did Undo Your Desk Job Part 1. The reason I'm calling it that is because we're going to focus on lengthening the muscles of the front body. And good morning, Betsy. We're going to focus on lengthening the muscles of the front body and strengthening the muscles of the back body. So the reason we do this is that most of us spend a lot of our lives kind of hunched forward, focused on activities that round the spine. And when you do that, those muscles become contracted, sort of habitually contracted and weakened. And the muscles in the back body become habitually stretched and tight. So we're trying to undo that. Last week, we focused on the upper body. This week, we're going to focus on the lower body. We're going to start standing at our mats and then come down for all fours and some seated positions. So let's begin. I'm going to move back to my mat. All right, so we first begin in just a nice mountain pose. Your feet are solidly on the mat. Feel energy coming up from the solidly rooted feet, up through the legs, through the spine, all the way out the crown of the head. The arms are down at your sides, not stretching, but active. A little bit of energy, engagement. And from here, we're just going to breathe. Inhale fully, exhale fully. Inhale and exhale. Your practice, I like to start with a little bit of breathing, a little bit of centering, just a moment to bring yourself and your awareness into this space and this time that you have carved out of your day for you. Next, inhale the arms up, lengthen the spine, exhale and fold forward wherever it works for you. You might be a little halfway, might be most of the way, might be all the way down with the knees bent. Inhaling, come to straighten the legs and straighten the back, again, wherever you are. Exhale and fold forward once more, rounding the back. Inhale, the arms up, lengthen, and exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward as far as you want to. Bend the knees, fold at the hip crease. Inhale, straighten the back and the legs. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come on up, maybe a slight bend in the upper back. And then hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward, round the spine, bend at the knees and the hip crease. Inhale, come to a half. Straight back, straight legs. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arms up, maybe a slight back bend. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Nice. Now inhale, bring the arms up, maybe interlace the fingers. Inhale, lengthen the spine and reach up and gloriously over to one side. Feeling a nice stretch in the side body. Start to feel the muscles of the rib cage opening up. Breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, reach up to go over to the other side. And feel the opposite leg rooting down into the floor, increasing stretch. Inhale up and exhale down. Now you may want to take a slightly wider stance, and we're just going to do some nice spinal twists here. You can imagine that you're wearing a jacket, but your arms are not in the sleeves. And then you twist, the sleeves of the jacket are just gently flopping from one side to the other. If you want, you can bend the knees a little bit, just warming up the body. And when you're ready, bring that to a close. And let's do some shoulder rolls. We're going to do them from forward to back only as we continue this idea of lengthening the front body and strengthening the back body. So inhale the shoulders forward and up. Exhale back and down. Inhale forward and up. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, back and down. One more time. Inhale forward, up. Exhale back and down and relax. Now in your mountain pose, nice and steady on the mat, begin to shift your weight one side. We're going to do some ankle rolls. You can do these with the toe on the mat for a little extra stability, or you can raise the foot off the mat. So you're just very simply going to roll the ankle a little bit to the outside, and then roll it to the inside. So if your foot's off the ground, looks like that. And then come to center, shift your weight over. Roll the ankle to the outside. Breathing, smiling. And roll the ankle to the inside. Nice. So now that your ankles are warm, we're going to do another crescent moon, but with an added element. So inhale the arms up. Exhale. And as you exhale, bring one foot back, behind the other foot, and out to the side. Once you're set in this pose with your weight equally distributed between the front and back leg, inhale, find length in the spine. Exhale and lean over toward the back leg, toward that side. And breathe. And now we're stretching everything. Keep reaching the arms up and to the side. Stretching everything from the outside arm to the shoulder, through the ribs and the hip. Full side body stretch. And come to center. Pause for a moment. And then we'll do the other side. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, bring the other foot back and to the outside of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale as you bend over toward the side of the extended back foot. Breathe. Imagine that the muscles between the ribs are lengthening as you inhale. You're creating space in your spine as well, and in your hip, the outside of the hip. Inhale to come up. Exhale, the arms down. Oh, I love that one. Okay. Now we're going to come down to hands and knees on the mat. When you're in your hands and knees position, you want your wrists to be under the elbows and under the shoulders. And knees are right below the hips. Find your neutral spine with a flat back. And as you inhale, raise the back up toward the sky. Your head and tailbone come down toward the mat. Exhale as you find your neutral spine. And then I like to inhale again as I raise the tailbone and the head up to the sky and bring the chest down to the mat. Exhale as you come through center. Inhale as you come up into your cat. Halloween cat, arching the back. Exhale to center and keep going. Inhale into your cow pose with head and tailbone up and spine toward the floor. Nice. Now we're going to do some variations here. Come back to your neutral tabletop pose. Inhale, and as you exhale, just stick one hip out to the side. The rest of you stays in the middle, just sticking that hip out there. Again, stretching the outside muscles of the hip. Inhale to center, exhale to the other side. Breathe. Inhale to center, and now you're going to maintain your flat back, maintain everything where it is, and simply turn your head to look toward your back foot. It's another side stretch. And inhale to center, and exhale as you look back toward the other foot. And inhale to center. If it's available to you, you can sit back on your heels in hero's pose. If this is not available to you, you can feel free to sit cross-legged. I'm going to be in hero's pose, but don't feel pressured to do it. Do what's right for your body. Sit up nice and tall. Roll those shoulders forward, up, back, and down, externally rotating the shoulder outside. Leave the hands behind you and see if you can find the mat behind you with fingertips or all of the fingers or the palms, whichever works for you. Open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and breathe. And for a bonus, see if you can lift your hips up off the floor. Squeezing the buttocks, stretching the front thigh muscles, the quads, the psoas. Psoas muscles are in the front of the thigh, and they are important muscles for stabilization. They help us when we walk, when we go from sitting to standing, when we climb stairs, and then come on down. And again, when we sit all day long like this, with your hips and quads at kind of a 90-degree angle, you're shortening the psoas and weakening it. So we want to stretch it out. And speaking of stretching the psoas, come back into your table for just a moment. We're going to do pigeon pose. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do it. So one is you bring one knee up toward the wrist of the same side arm. And then you begin to scooch. I'm going to turn just a little bit to the side so you can see. And you begin to scooch the back leg back as far down as you can. And again, this is a nice stretch for the psoas of the leg that's extended to the back. If that's not quite enough of a stretch for you, you can bring the front heel out toward the other hand and then sit down a little bit more for pigeon pose. And now you're adding to the psoas stretch on one side, you're adding a nice stretch of the glutes and the outside of the hip on the other. And breathe. You could also come down on forearms if you wish. If you really want to increase the intensity of this, you could come up a little bit and fly your pigeon with arms outstretched toward the back. Any of these positions is wonderful. So choose whichever one is correct for you in your body on this day. And then you're going to come back to your table. And we're going to do the other side. So bring whichever is your other leg up toward the wrist and start to scooch the other leg back. Rest in planting the top of the foot on the floor when you get there. If you want to increase your front foot out toward the side. Breathe. Pull the belly into the spine to protect the low back. Come down on your forearms if you wish. You could come up and fly your pigeon. Breathe. Enjoy. This is an intense kind of a pose. It's not for everybody, but I love it. And since I'm teaching, I get to make those choices. But you don't have to. If there's ever any pose any teacher has you do that is not right for your body, feel free to modify or just not do it. And then we're going to come out of that, however it works for you, and come to sit facing front with your legs extended out straight. Toes pointing up toward the ceiling, sit nice and tall. Bend one knee, lift and cross it over the other leg. Sit so that both of your sit bones are equally on the mat. Grab the front leg with your arm, with your hand, hug it into your chest, whatever works for you. Bring the other hand back behind you. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist a little bit toward the bent leg. Inhale, find length in the spine before you exhale and twist. We always want to start poses maybe 50% of where we think we can go. So then you have some place to go. Inhale, find length. Exhale, twist to your maximum. And then gently unwind. And we're going to lift the other leg, bend at the knee, bring it across the straight leg. Your hand finds the shin of your bent leg, or you can hug it into the chest. The other hand comes around behind you. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall and even. Inhale the spine even a bit longer, and exhale to twist. Inhale long, exhale twist. Inhale long, exhale and twist more. And then gently unwind. Sit up nice and tall again. The last pose we're going to do today is bridge pose. I'm going to turn around so you can see me, and you stay facing where you are. Start with the knees bent. Pull the belly button into the spine. If it's available to you, see if you can lower down slowly using those core muscles all the way down to the mat. If it's not available to you, come down to lying on your back however you can. Once you're on the mat, notice that your thighs and knees are about hip distance apart. You're going to try to keep them there the whole time. Bring your heels as close to your buttocks as you can. Open up the front body. Now you're going to inhale and curve just the tailbone off the mat, followed by the sacrum and the lower vertebrae. And you're going to continue inhaling and lifting off the mat one vertebra at a time. Squeeze the buttocks, really use the muscles of the back body. Breathe. Inhale, and as you exhale, lower down slowly, starting from the top of the spine, One vertebra at a time. Lower the middle of the spine, the lower spine, sacrum and tailbone come down last. And let's do that one again. Inhale, tailbone comes off, sacrum, and then work your way up your spine. Feel as though you can do it one single vertebra at a time, using all the muscles of the back body and tightening the core as well, so you're going to have to breathe more in the upper chest. If you'd like, you can lift your shoulders a little bit and work your hands in between. So you clasp your hands on the mat underneath your body. And if that doesn't work for you, don't do it. And then take the hands away, place them flat on the mat again. Exhaling, lower the spine down to the mat, going from top to bottom. Sacrum and tailbone come down last. And breathe. It's another intense pose. It's also an inverted pose, an inversion. It's always good to do inversions if you can, if they're available to you. Now you may want to extend your legs long. I'm going to sit up. You stay there. With your legs long on the mat and your arms down on the mat as well, relax. Take a nice deep inhalation. With your exhalation, let everything go. Once more. Inhale. As you exhale, release all effort from the body. Take a moment. Notice your breathing. Nice and even. Equal inhalation and exhalation. You may wish to stay here a few more minutes in Shavasana, relaxing, letting go of all effort, trying to let go of thoughts as well and focusing just on your breath. Nice and easy. Stay here in this restful pose for as long as you like. I'm going to end the class here. If you are ready to rejoin your day, you can bring your hands to heart center. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking this time out of your day to practice. And take a moment to send gratitude out to other people in your life and love out to the rest of the world that needs it so much. Thank you for practicing with me today. I bow to the light within you.